What's up? Good morning. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Today is Tuesday. It is August 5th. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? I appreciate you guys being here this morning. All right. Damn, you know what? We are 25 days away from Alabama versus Florida State. That's crazy to me. We can make it through 25 days. If we made it through May, June, and July, that was the Sahara Desert of, our college space. And now 25 days, come on. That's too easy. We can do it. This Saturday, Alabama has a scrimmage. We'll get, nuggets and hear things that happen at the scrimmage. Then they'll have another scrimmage, and then pretty soon it'll be that first Monday before they play Florida State. Man, 25 days is nothing, especially when you're a little bit older. Man, it's crazy. The older you get, tell me that you agree. For those of you in your 40s, all right, if you're not 40, you can't answer this. But, all right, if you're younger, listen up, all right, youngins. I feel like when you're older, it's like, I'm serious, just wait. I feel like weeks kind of go by like months. It's crazy, man. And years go by like months. Dude, it is the wildest thing. So live your life, all right? I told you guys. See, J. Cole, you can't answer, dog. Don't answer, man, until you're 40. And someone said a long time ago, man, they're like, you don't know SHI, you know what, until you're 40. I completely agree. Man, the things you learn. But what's up, fam? I got a good show for you today. Today we're gonna look over some college football schedules, all right? And then we're going to come back to our camp coverage. We'll talk about some camp battles. Nick Sheridan had some really good things to say about each of the quarterbacks. Look, I'll go out and say this. They didn't bring any of the quarterbacks to the interview portion of Media Day. Maybe be chewing on that for a minute because, look, if they had a guy, they would clearly bring him out. But I think that signals to us that there's still a battle. And that's fine with me. I'm not mad about a battle at all, right? And we want to support every quarterback that is on. Now, there's people out here that are going to be like, oh, there's a picture of Keelon Russell. He likes Keelon Russell, Oh, he talks about Ty. He likes Ty. Dude, I want a consistent quarterback. That's it. And I want the other quarterbacks to rise up when it's their time. That's it, man, because this season, I'm telling you, look, I will be 1,000,000% honest with you with the next thing I'm going to say, okay? Running the YouTube channel last year, in all the 8 years, 9 years, I don't think I've ever said this before, okay? When Coach Saban was here, I needed Coach Saban in Alabama for the channel because Coach Saban was doing nasty work on college football. So, Alabama fans were so spoiled in the sense that, okay, I don't even know who we're playing. We're going to beat the you-know-what out of them, and that's it. So you almost needed for the YouTube channel, them to lose a game to kind of, spark people up. Last year, losing 4 games, I'm telling you guys that know my journey. This is serious. This is what I do for a living. So this year, man, they need to win more than they've ever won before. All right. So, and kind of leading me to this. All right. So we go with a little Pate State, right? You got some Josh Pate. He just released his analytical model. Obviously, you guys follow him, the best in the business. He's done an amazing job building up his product. It's amazing to see kind of the journey and kind of the rocket ship that he's been on, right? I mean, success brick by brick, compounded with talent, right place, right time, the personality, all that stuff. I mean, who doesn't love this dude? He's just been doing an amazing job. So he recently came out with basically 3, likely scenarios. Obviously, they're not going to go 6-6. That's the worst case. But the best is 11-1 and likely 9-3. And I think that's what Vegas has, right? Is Alabama kind of around that 9-3. And I know that J.D. Pickell also for On 3, he released, I think, his prediction. And he had Alabama losing to LSU. And I think they finished out 10-2 or whatever. I don't. Obviously, he's not saying they're going to go 6-6. That would just be that would be crazy. But I don't know. Like, even I just looking at the schedule, and I know sometimes I get caught up because it's just an Alabama channel. I don't know if these guys, like, if there's two teams that they would lose to on the schedule. Yeah, they could lose 2 games for sure. I just don't think that they're losing at home. The only pitfalls that I see are road games, and I've explained that a million different times. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll make a prediction model or whatever, or I'll do a prediction show at some time, and we can go like game by game, and I'll give you my overall assessment. But this is out there. You know, people expecting them, anywhere. They're definitely going to win 10 games, you know, at least in the regular season. And I think if I was to say they're going to lose games, it would be like on the road. Yeah, Keelon post inside the comment box that JD has LSU winning the whole thing, which I don't really agree with that. That would be crazy. I don't agree with that though. So what we're gonna do today, and I'm sure this video just dropped by Josh Pate, so you can go watch it and go over the whole model. I saw that yesterday, and I thought it was interesting, at least bringing here as we continue to go through fall camp, right? And maybe I'll do a video that kind of highlights the schedule, but maybe just something to chew on. The coaches' top 10, and this is kind of what I'm tying into, and we'll go through a couple of the schedules, and then I'll jump to fall camp, and I'll talk battles that are taking place right now. In fact, they have practice today, and you'll hear from Ryan Grubb later on today, and we'll kind of tie it all together like we usually do during our fall camp coverage, all right? So I brought this up last night, and we touched on it maybe a little bit. But here's the coaches' top 10. You got Texas, Ohio State, Penn State, Georgia, Notre Dame, Clemson, Oregon, Bama, LSU, and Miami. So I think this is pretty fair, to be honest. I might switch maybe Notre Dame and Clemson. I might put Notre Dame at 8 and, kind of move up. I might put Notre Dame at 9, to be honest. But other than that, I think where Alabama is, that's fine. That's realistic. And I think what this does is it's reverse rat poison, right? Because you're not on the left column, the top 5. You're in the right, the top 10. So, hey, look, what do we have to do to get to the left column? Can we be a left column type team, right? Can we play Georgia at their house and be competitive? Can we play elite football? Can we beat the Bulldogs on their home turf? Right? Can, Kalen DeBoer take it to Kirby Smart once again? Kirby Smart had a lot of positive things to say about Kalen DeBoer. And the great thing about Coach Kalen DeBoer, even throughout his career, and kind of, he's won high-profile games. He really has. If you go through his schedule, it's kind of the weird games that he's lost have been in year 1 against unranked teams. It's just kind of strange. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, before we start talking a couple battles that I want to mention, I want to go over Texas's schedule, Ohio State, Penn State, Georgia, Notre Dame, Clemson. Those are the schedules that I have for today's show, all right? So I'm going to show those, and I want some dialogue back and forth, and then after that, kind of midway in the show, we'll move to camp coverage, and then like I said, later on today, you got practice coverage, some B-roll, and then you got Ryan Grubb speaking after 5 practices. This is the 5th practice. Yesterday, they did not have practice. It was just a media day for the players. And if you want to watch some of those interviews, they're all over, but I covered several of them last night on our Monday evening show. What's up, DeMarcus? DeMarcus says, Kyle, do you think if Keelon is able to win the quarterback battle, he starts over Ty? I'm going to talk about kind of where the quarterbacks are. Now, look, I think it's clear that the coaches don't have a definitive starter just yet, and I wouldn't count out Austin Mack either. So I think what will be really telling, will be this first scrimmage. I think this first scrimmage will set the tone, and that's this Saturday, for where these quarterbacks truly are in terms of the consistency, the command, how they're able to pop back from mistakes that they might make. So, yeah, I think Saturday there's a lot on the line. And Ryan Grubb already said, that he wants to have already named a quarterback. But I think that it signals, because they haven't brought a quarterback to media day, they haven't had a quarterback talk to the media. I think it's because of the fact that they don't have a definitive starter yet, right? Why? I mean, and we're not accustomed to that because in the past we've, pretty much always had a quarterback that we knew was going to be the starter, besides like the Coach Saban cake bake year, right? And maybe it doesn't matter. Like you definitely want to have a quarterback competition for this year, especially coming off, last year. Are they showing the scrimmage anywhere? No, I don't. I mean, I'm sure there'll be people that are at the scrimmage, and the scrimmage, that's always where you get like the nuggets. But no, they don't. That's not going to be open. I don't even know if you're like a member of like Yay Alabama, if you get access to it. That's a good question. I don't think so though. Usually, they like those things pretty tight. Todd Tipton saying Ty is QB number 1. What's up, JM? I see you inside the comment box. Let me give some shout outs real quick to everybody that's joining the morning show. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for being on the show. Young C, what's up, man? King Riz, thanks for being here. Good to see you, man. Max Tooney, what's up? Seth Mitchell, good morning. Southern Red, good morning to you. I appreciate you being here. Daniel Adams, what's up, my boy? Good to see you. BJ checking in. See, we got Southern Red. We got Rocket Town. We got Army 3275. What's up, man? Hope you're doing all right. Chatham Bailey, what's up, man? Anita, what's up? Sean the Explorer, good to see you. Sammy, what's going on? Alabama's biggest fan. Good morning to you. Oceanic Jazz, what's up, man? Yeah, it has been a minute. Where you been, man? You been okay? Good to see you, man. All right, first schedule that we're going to look at. And I want feedback on this, okay? So let's go through the schedule. All right? And you tell me, we'll just go, we'll predict some of these schedules, all right? The first schedule we got is the Texas Longhorns, all right? I'll go full screen on it. This is your boy Arch Manning over here to the right, the college football media darling. All right, okay, first question. This is crazy. This game, look. We'll go through the whole schedule. It's Texas A&M at the bottom if you can't see it. But the first team that they play on the road at Ohio State, who wins that game? I am dead serious. Type O for Ohio State, type T for Texas. Damn. Is that going to be, has the camp news out of Ohio State been that Julian Saint's going to be the starter? Probably so, right? So you have Julian Saint, which is crazy because he was here. I saw him with the team. And then he bounced out. So who wins, Ohio State or Texas? And Jarvis, if you're in here, or somebody else, what's the line on the game? It looks pretty 50-50 from what I'm seeing inside the comment box. Man, I don't know. I think in a game like this, do you simply just go for, because of home field? Todd's saying Ohio State. I might say Ohio State, honestly. Yeah, I mean, look, good feedback inside the comment box because I think this is the number 1 game on the slate to open the season, right? Like the main college football slate. Man, what a starter. I like you, Stanley. I love that score, bro. That is, I probably roll with you right there. Ohio State, 31-24. King Grizz is like, he's not sure that Texas or, anybody has an answer for Jeremiah, right? Okay, so let's just say they lose that game. Damn, Max has Julian throwing 5 touchdowns? Shoot. Oh, Mr. B, what's up, man? Thank you, man. You filling in for Jarvis today. Ohio State's favored by 2.5. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. What's up, Joe West? Joe West is still in the quarterbacks. We'll talk about the camp coverage in just a minute, man. I'm going to fly through a couple of these schedules to warm up the show. Practice, again, taking place right now. Interviews and footage coming up later today. Okay, so let's say they lose that game. We'll go full screen to the full screen monitor. And you got San Jose State, so they rebound with that win, right? You rebound with another. So you got 2 wins against UTEP. Right, you beat up on the Miners. You beat Sam Houston. Damn, it gets easy. Oh, look, they go to Florida. I mean, I'm going to say they beat Florida, but going to Ohio State and going to Florida, like going to Columbus and to Gainesville, that's tough. And then how about this Oklahoma game? You know what? That Oklahoma game, talk about one. Okay, is there anybody out there inside the comment box that thinks that that Texas lose to either Florida or Oklahoma or both? I mean, the Red River rivalry game is tough, man. Oh, wow. You got breaking news for Josh Pate. See if we can bring that to the board. I think it just came out. Yeah. So breaking news, Josh Pate has partnered with On3 and Rivals ahead of the 2025 season. So another big pickup for On3. It's funny, we were just talking about Josh Pate. But I think we saw this coming too. So congratulations to him. We saw that coming. Josh Pate partnered with On3. Congratulations to Josh Pate and On3 as they continue to climb the college football stratosphere, right? So the breaking news is in. It's a big one. That's good. Good to see it. I thought he would have been in a white tee, right? Man, that's good, man. They're building up a monster over there, right? Josh Pate partnered with On3, but I would have, I don't know all the details and stuff like that, but he was for 24/7, and I know that Shannon Terry, the CEOs, always wanted somebody of that talent to, kind of spearhead their YouTube, platform. But they have their own YouTube channel, and he has his own, so I figured there's some sort of partnership. But I mean, anyways. All right, so breaking news just in. Congratulations to Josh Pate and to On3. Getting back to the Texas schedule, though, is there anybody that thinks that the Texas somehow loses to Florida or Oklahoma? I don't know. Then they got Kentucky. They got Mississippi State. Man, that's kind of this road stretch right here. On the road to Florida. They're not home against Oklahoma. That's a neutral site game. Man, so they're gone from home for a while. Then they go to Kentucky. Then they go to Mississippi State. I mean, light work, but still, you're not home for almost the. Damn, they don't have a home game in October. That's weird. Is that weird? Man, that's really strange. Then they play Diego Pavia in the national title contenders Vanderbilt. That's what Diego was saying. Damn, then they go to Georgia? Shoot. You know what? Let me ask you this. Do you think that Texas is, I just want to ask you like this. Do you think that Texas' schedule is hard? I do. I think this is a hard schedule. On the road at Ohio State, on the road at Florida, play Oklahoma on a neutral site game, who should be much improved. They don't have a game in October. They play on the road at Georgia. This team's going to lose games. 100%. There's no way that Texas, I don't care how good this team is, I don't think that they just run through this schedule. They could lose 2 or 3 games. I don't know. That's a way tougher schedule than I thought. That's a very challenging schedule. I love tough schedules, but that's a hard schedule. Shoot. All right. Next team. Ohio State. You got Texas, so we have them beating Texas. Then they play Grambling. That's wild. Ohio, they go to Washington, Minnesota, Illinois, Wisconsin, Penn State. This is a much easier schedule. Much easier schedule. I guess challenging games. Obviously, the opener, playing Penn State, but you host them. I don't know if this team loses, right? As this team go? Look at this. This is an easy schedule besides the opener, so coin flip that first game, but you have home field. Who's going to challenge them? Penn State? Yeah, obviously, but the game is in Columbus. Who else? They go to Michigan. They go to the Big House. I don't know, who knows what happens in that game. This is an easy schedule. They play one tough game on the back end, and, I got, Penn State will be good. Clearly, they're in the top 10. This is a very easy schedule. These guys got off. Damn, man. These guys are not losing. They'll beat. Is there anyone in here inside the comment box, honestly, that thinks that Penn State will beat Ohio State in Columbus? There's no way. I don't even see a trap game on here. What's your trap game? This is an easy schedule. Soft. I guess these guys are going undefeated if they can take care of Texas and beat, win on the road in the big house. Who knows what happens in that back end game, but I don't know. Damn. Okay, that's an easy schedule. Okay, Penn State, Nevada, Florida International. Oh my God, dude. These schedules, this is crazy. All right, Nevada, Florida International, Villanova. Okay, they play Oregon at home. They go to UCLA, Northwestern, Iowa. Okay, I don't know. This schedule kind of looks easy too. Why would they pair Josh Pate? Because I think what's happening right now, and this is probably what's going to happen, is right now On3 is starting to acquire 24/7. They just acquired Rivals, and now they have so much momentum and so much funds that they're going to start picking apart 24/7, and then they will buy 24/7 as well. So the only site that will soon exist will be On3. I mean, they're basically, eating up the competition. They just brought over the biggest North Carolina site, right? Basically, they're doing the same thing they did to Rivals. You bring over all the publishers, and the value of the company goes down, and then you buy everything else. So that's just, so then because Shannon Terry started on Rivals and 24/7, so again, then he'll own all of those, and then it'll just be On3 and ESPN, and it'll be up to ESPN or to Disney to see if they want to make a move to buy On3. I don't think this schedule is very hard. I have them losing to Ohio State, and I don't know, Oregon and Penn State should be one hell of a game, especially because the game is in Penn State. I don't know. That game's going to be fun. Let's say, I don't know, Oregon wins on like a last sec. I don't know. Who knows? James Franklin doesn't seem to win big games like that. So I probably go with Oregon. So I have Penn State losing twice, right? I don't even know if there's a trap game on here either. So Penn State in the playoffs, Ohio State in the playoffs for sure. Next up, Georgia. This is weird. This is one of the first years that they don't start off the season playing kind of like a big kickoff classic. They're taking on Marshall. Then they have Austin Peay, right? Then on the road at Tennessee, then Bama, hosting Bama, take on Kentucky, go on the road to Auburn, Ole Miss, Florida. You know what? Georgia's schedule, okay, you got some good teams on here right here, okay? But it's favorable for Georgia because of the home games, right? Think about it. You're hosting Bama. You're hosting Ole Miss, who I think that could be a trap game. Florida back-to-back. Like this little stretch right here on the road to Auburn. Auburn will play Georgia tough. I don't care how terrible they are, right? They'll play them tough. This little 3-game stretch is tough. And then you have Texas, but you're hosting them. And you know what? Even these guys down here in Georgia Tech's a pretty good football team. Brent Key's a damn good coach. I would imagine that Brent Key maybe gets a bigger shot eventually, but maybe he's good at Georgia Tech. He's good. This is a good schedule, but favorable for Georgia. Do they lose 2 games here? Yeah, I mean, if they lose to Bama at home, they're a favorite in that game. If they beat Bama, I mean, shoot, they could have enough momentum to maybe run the table on this schedule. And then they'll have that back-end battle with Texas. But a very favorable schedule for Georgia. All right, Notre Dame. You got Miami, so that's a top 10 matchup, right? 5 versus 10 or something like that. Who wins that game? Does Miami beat Notre Dame? Carson Beck, right? Versus Tyler Buckner. I promise you, Tyler Buckner is, I don't know who's going to be the Notre Dame quarterback. There's a couple guys kind of battling it out. But Tyler Buckner is like the 4th quarterback on it. Remember Tyler Buckner? What a wild ride he's been on, man. Remember when he came over? Damn, man. Against South Florida. So is anyone taking Miami to beat Notre Dame? All right, people taking, looks like Notre Dame. Then they play Texas A&M. That was a really good game last year, right, when the 2 teams played. The game is in South Bend this time. Take on Purdue. Notre Dame has weird rivalry games like that. Like Notre Dame and Purdue is a rivalry game because both the schools in Indiana, right? Then they go on the road to Arkansas, Sam Pittman, Boise. I guess that's kind of an interesting game. NC State, USC's a rivalry game for them as well. Boston College, that's a rivalry game because each of the schools is like, aren't they both like Catholic schools? Navy, that's a weird rivalry game too. Pittsburgh's a rivalry game. Stanford's a rivalry game. I don't know. Is this schedule hard? Let's see. They win. I guess, I don't know if they win 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know. Notre Dame's going to win a lot of games, man. Notre Dame's going to win a lot of football games. Who's going to beat them? No, I'm serious. Who is going to beat Notre Dame? If Miami doesn't, I guess Texas A&M, they got like 2 tough, I guess, like front-end games. Who's going to beat these guys? I don't know. I mean, what we got with USC this year? Another disappointing season? Hey, Justice, what's up, man? You get a special shout out, bro, because you're a new subscriber. You got to tell us where you're from, man. Rep your city. I like that name, man. Justice Martin. Yeah, right? What's up, Whoa? Saying A&M. This schedule is easy. Charmin. The Notre Dame Charmin. Jamie Bird yesterday, I was reading the comment box. Jamie Bird, because I was asking who could bench over 500 pounds, who could squat over this. Jamie Bird's a beast. There was a lot of you guys. I need to make the undefeated football team, and you all play your position. This is what we'll do one time. Not on today's show, but we'll all go off the positions that we played, and we'll have ourselves a team. All right? I'm going to go for a wide receiver. I showed my highlights yesterday. All right, Notre Dame doesn't play anybody. Here's Clemson's schedule. People, look, national college analysts, right? I cover Alabama football, right? But people who cover the entire nation love this team. Feel that this team is like a national title contender. Okay, it's so hard for me to buy into anything ACC related. I don't know why. It's weird. It just, I think it's because I've seen time and time again these teams play in really high profile games and they fall short, right? Now, there were some times that Clemson definitely took it to Alabama. Like when I first started covering the team, Clemson, those Clemson teams were better than these Clemson teams, in my opinion. All right. So here we go. We got Clemson. They're taking on LSU. That if Texas and Ohio State is the number one game in college football that first weekend, then this is probably the second, right? Another top 10 game. The game is in Clemson. Who wins, Clemson or LSU? Because our boy J.D. Piquel has Clemson winning the whole thing. By the way, I think JD's number one. That dude is a good dude, bro. He's a good person. But he has LSU winning the whole thing. He's a national analyst, He's free to do what he wants. I haven't seen anyone else get on LSU's ship and, cruise through and pick them. But who wins, LSU or Clemson? Sound off inside the comment box. Just type L for LSU or type C for Clemson. Man, LSU hasn't really performed well in opening games for whatever reason over the last couple of years, but I don't want that to be the reason I pick Clemson. They two really good quarterbacks, right? Home field's tough, dude. Playing over there in that stadium, it's got to be crazy. I would love to see a game at Clemson. It looks cool. A lot of people taking Clemson. Sean the Explorer is saying tie. I'll go with Clemson. I'm taking home field today. All right? And you know what? Marcus Kirchhoff's right. This quarterback, Kate Klubnik, right here, over here, I think he's the highest graded quarterback on Pro Football Focus returning. The guy had, really good numbers. And they had, Peter Woods on the defensive side should be an elite talent, or it already is, right? I think Bruce Feldman said he's like a top 10 pick in the 2026 draft, which, yeah, obviously. Yeah, give me Clemson. Okay, so then Clemson takes Troy at Georgia Tech. Now, Georgia Tech's good. Syracuse, you know what? Syracuse will fight you. Syracuse will fight you. If this game was up in Syracuse, who knows? North Carolina, I don't know. Is North Carolina going to be – are these guys going to be good? Under Bill Belichick? What a storyline, huh? I don't know. Do we take North Carolina here? Maybe not right now. Boston College, Bill O'Brien. Yo, ACC has some coaches, man. Look, Brent Key, Bill Belichick, Bill O'Brien. Then they take on SMU. I don't know. Look, this team's going to win a lot of games too. I think, you kind of look at the opener. You look to maybe that Georgia Tech, the North Carolina because of the names. I don't think SMU will be as good as they were last year. Florida State to be determined, right? Kind of a mid team. And then at the back end at South Carolina, which I would imagine, that's one hell of a game, and probably two teams, South Carolina definitely fighting maybe for a playoff spot at that point, and Clemson trying to retain a high-level ranking, and show the pollsters at that time that they deserve maybe like a top 4 or whatever. I mean, it's not the most challenging schedule, to be honest. You got a very competitive game to open up the season, and maybe one in the middle, and then on the back end, it's not that hard. Yeah, I'm with you, Marcus. You said it best right there, bro. Clemson will be challenged by LSU, Georgia Tech, and South Carolina. Yeah, plain and simple. Patriot Life's here. Patriot Life, what's up, man? Dude, look at Patriot Life has, man, fear none, fear none. I like that. Someone said something about Bill Belichick. All right, Bama King, what's up, man? Good to see you, bro. Bill Belichick may shock people. College is more like NFL now with all the personalities, so his coaching probably translates to college too. I didn't think about that, but you're right, man. These are pros. I mean, these aren't like, little college kids who just got there. These dudes are rolling up in Ferraris and Bugattis and, They're getting paid, and they're pros. All right, let's see who else we got. Okay, I guess that's all the schedule we have. Hey, so look, now we're going to get into camp coverage. Alabama's holding their second practice now. I know a lot of you guys asked about Zell, so this is what I'm going to do, and this is the solution that I came up with to get into the raffle. So the raffle, one more time, will be spun tomorrow, come hell or high water, okay? So win 2 tickets to Alabama versus Wisconsin. That's the second game of the season, Section E, row 61, Saturday, September 13th at 11 a.m. All right, I'll send you the tickets the day before when I get the game. It's $25 to enter. You can enter as many times as you want to, okay? I'm going to bring this up for the full screen monitor. So you got Venmo on this side, $25. Super Chats will also get you in as well, a $25 Super Chat. All right, Venmo, Bama_YouTube. Remember, there's that underscore right here. Bama YouTube on Cash App, all right? And for those of you that use Zelle, right, you scan the code. Yeah, there's no, like, link. So what I would do, if you're out there and you're like, well, I'm using my phone, what I would do is I would like pause this show and come back to it and like screenshot it somehow and hit the QR code, right? Or grab your girl's phone, grab your guy's phone, grab your kid's phone, and copy the QR code. You figure it out, all right? So those are the codes. This is the view for the game. I'm telling you, the total price value for this game is $543. All right, fall camp coverage powered by our good friends at Sonic, West Memphis, Arkansas, Marion, Arkansas, where I-55 and I-40 hit. Sonic sounds really good to me today. Try to go before, because Caden now, I told you, Caden works. My son, he works at Chick-fil-A. Man, he's putting in almost 40 hours a week. He works usually the evening shifts, right? From 2 to 10. So I'm not going to lie, okay? I love me some Sonic, but man, and I know because you guys will email me about, and I am healthy. I am, but I will tear up a cheese coney. And I do like every once in a while a cherry vanilla Dr. Pepper. But when I go to Chick-fil-A, I'm not going to lie. I go, I say hi to my son. I'll sit down. And I'll have myself a deluxe, a spicy deluxe, okay? I'm going to live my life. I know. You guys, no, he doesn't deliver, but I'll tell you something real quick before I get into this. Because he works the late shift. And he came home one time, it was the end of the day, so they had all these nuggets that they had made, and they were just, it's either throw them away or give them to the staff. So one night he brought back a ton of nuggets, and we sat there like kings, and we just watched, I forget what, we would watch like The Simpsons or something. We usually like The Simpsons or The Office, and we cruised through it, and we had a good time. We ate nuggets like kings. So, and I still haven't tried Catfish Heaven, but I'm going to. All right, Cam TV, thanks for bringing that up. I need to go there. Yeah, Caden does get a discount. He gets, I think it's 50% off. So before he comes back home, before Caden gets back home, he'll text us and he'll be like, "Yo, does anybody want anything?" So, and he gets 50% off. So, but yeah, Caden, he works pretty much close to 40 hours a week, and he's 16 years old. So, zero laziness here. All right. As we get into fall camp, here's the quick injury report. And Alabama just finished up their 5th practice of the season. All right, so you'll get practice footage later today and a Ryan Grubb interview, which should be great. So starting from the left, working ourselves to the right, Lazier Brooks still in a walking boot as of yesterday. Okay, things can change quickly with the staff that Alabama has, especially with Jeff Allen, right? So Coach Keelon Russell was quick to point out that it is nothing serious with Lazier Brooks. It doesn't seem like anything that's going to be like 2 months, 3 months. It just, precautionary, especially with the player as dynamic as Lazier Brooks, right? Josh Cuevas, he is practicing. He's just not 100%. He's still limited. He even said that he's limited. And Deontay Lawson, he's limited as well. But Coach Keelon Russell said that his trajectory is upward, okay? And then Derek Meadows, he's also practicing. All these 3 guys are practicing, okay? They're just a little bit nicked up. That's how healthy Alabama is we're reporting on guys that are just, 80%, 90%. Like Derek Meadows is still practicing. He just has a hamstring apparatus on, which is totally common. There's a lot of guys that, have braces on. They're fine. So I think this is probably one of the bigger takeaways as well this year is kind of the health of this team, right? I mean, at this point, I get it. It's 5 practices. It's a long fall camp, but it's still worth noting, all right? I was thinking about this, and from time to time, I'll show screenshots. I can't show actual game footage on here, but I can show you screenshots and kind of, help me point out kind of where things are at. And I think this is a fair assessment of where Alabama's offense is right now. I don't know. And one thing that the coaches have said that the wide receivers are interchangeable, okay? I think that Ryan Williams will play a lot of the slot. But I think based on personnel, you could put him all over the field, which is going to make this offense that much more dangerous, okay? So I got Proctor, Cam Dewberry, or Geno Vandermark, Parker Brailsford, Jaden Roberts, Wilcom Formby, Josh Cuevas, right? And I don't know if there's going to be any different looks. I'll probably give you one with 12 personnel with 2 tight ends and some with 4 wide receivers as we move forward. But I don't know. You got Simpson back there, and I got Jam Miller. Now, it looks pretty good to me. Now it just comes down to schematics and execution, right, from the players. You got really good experience. I like where we're at right now. I mean, I really do. And you have a lot of depth at the wide receiver position. And Daniel Adams asking a good question, about kind of wide receiver number 4. Yeah, I think, you can put him in. You can put Jalen Helen, Lazier Brooks. And look, let's not forget, I think another guy that we're talking about with Camp Risers is Jalen Mbakwe. It sounds like he's starting to elevate his game during the fall time, which is wonderful. Wonderful. On the defensive side, I'll go full screen because there's a lot to go over. The stars right here indicate that the player was a starter last year. Okay, so I'll explain, and I'll start right here with the wolf position. I've already talked about it, and you guys know this. This position is loaded. Like, it's crazy how many guys there are right here. So it's Quay, Ja Latham, Yanzi Pierre. I don't know who will come off the bench after Quay. I would imagine Yanzi. But they got guys, right? Noah Carter, Justin Hill. It's really impressive. Tim Keenan, Jeremiah Beeman, right? Big defensive tackles. James Smith, who's been having a wonderful fall camp. Kelby Collins looks great at the bandit position. You got LT Overton, Jordan Renard, Keon Keeley. I mean, I'm telling you. So I'm getting more comfortable with the 2 deep on offense, especially with the offensive line. The defense, the 2 deep is stellar. Like, absolutely stellar, okay? Corner, you got Xavier Brown. On the bottom side corner right here, you got Damani Jackson, Dejon Lee, right? They also moved Red Morgan over to corner as well, so you could put him, I guess, behind Xavier Brown, let's say. Inside backer, you got Justin Jefferson, Nikai Hill-Green, Deontay Lawson, who's limited. And then behind him, Caden Jones, Quentin Reese, and the young freshman that they got in, right? The Husky position right now, we're seeing a position battle up here for that 3rd corner that steps on the field between Cam Calhoun, Drake Kirkpatrick, and Deshaun Jones, right? And then your safeties, you got Keon Sabb, Zay Mincy, Bray Hubbard, and Ivan Taylor. Like, yo, that is, I mean, the defense, right? I'm telling you. So I'm going to go in and kind of zoom in on some of the position battles that are taking place. But as you could see from that illustration, like, the 2 deep is loaded on defense, right? I mean, it just is. Kind of looking at, this guy's such a monster, man. LT Overton. How are you guys feeling about the defense? Excitement level, 1 to 10. Right? I'm telling you, the 2 deep is loaded. All right, DeMarcus says, Kyle, you won the natty on the game. It means we're going to win it in real life. Yeah, I'm trying to manifest it, man. 100%. Hey, and then I asked you guys on yesterday's show, Do you want to see the continuation of like the next season? Because I had a lot of guys hit the transfer portal. Keelon Russell will be my quarterback. Bryce Underwood wanted to transfer to Bama. I didn't take him. I did take another transfer quarterback. I got in a really elite tight end. So if you guys want to see the continuation, I'll still stream it. It were fun, man. It was fun. I think it was stressful fun. Oh, man. And you guys all feeling the defense, rightfully so. All right. I'll go full screen for this graphic right here. And I'm talking about the offensive line. So you got Caden Proctor at left tackle, Cam Dewberry, Parker Brailsford, Jaden Roberts, Wilcom Formby. You'll see Gino Vandermark. That's how versatile he is, right? He's called the Swiss Army knife. So he can be the left guard. He could even be a starter, Gino Vandermark, right? I think these guys are battling right here, right, for that spot. But Gino Vandermark would be could start at guard. He's the backup center, right? He can go on this side at right guard. He can go all over the place. So that's what your starting looks like at that tier 1. I have no idea, like, if there's a definitive second team right now. I think they're mixing and matching guys, but Jackson Lloyd's been seen at tackle, and so is Olas Alanen. And then we've also seen Will Sanders at left guard. I haven't really heard too much about Casey Poe, to be honest, and I haven't heard a lot about Arquella Newgum. All right, but I would imagine that Ionita is maybe the third team center. I don't know. So I still have questions here with the offensive line with the two deep. But because Gino's so versatile, that should give you some comfort. I wouldn't be. I think if I had to say, if they started right now, I would probably think that Gino would probably start ahead of Cam Dewberry at left guard. So that's something that we're watching. Talk about a couple different battles, and of course, you got to start with the quarterbacks. There is a quarterback battle taking place. I think right now it's Ty Simpson clearly as like the guy who would start. But I think there's things that signal where, the coaches aren't close to naming a starter just yet. And that's okay. I don't think it's anything to get like upset about. It's just, this is where it's at. It's been 4 practices. And I think there might be a little bit more separation after Saturday's scrimmage. Okay. Nick Sheridan spoke to the media yesterday, and he had a couple things to say about each of the quarterbacks. He starts off saying this about Ty Simpson. Probably some maturity. Those are some things that he's seen from him. Command and just kind of the presence of somebody that's been here for such a long time. Just ownership and what we're asking him to do. This is a guy who's had 4 different offensive coordinators. This is a guy who's very polished as an athlete. This is a guy who could spin the football, right? What is he? Is Ty 21 or 22? Think about where you were as a 22-year-old compared to like being 19. Austin Mack is 19. Keelon Russell's 18. All right. I thought that was a pretty good update. So the media was able to talk to a couple of the different coaches yesterday, and that's what Nick Sheridan had to say about Ty Simpson. Regarding Austin Mack, he says this: one of Austin Mack's greatest abilities is the way that he works. He's a tremendous worker. He loves football, and he wants to continue to improve to get better. Yeah, I mean, what else are you going to say? The guy is a hard worker. He's got the size, 6'6", 235. He continues to get overshadowed because we got the 5-star and we got the returner, that has the experience. But I don't know. A lot of people, there's some people here inside the comment box and some people that I talk to that really have this guy not necessarily as a dark horse, but as kind of, a guy that they feel could be the guy. And then regarding Keelon Russell, by the way, dude, I love this photo. I just saw this yesterday. He looks tight, man. He doesn't get discouraged if and when mistakes happen, which they're going to happen to a young player. He's got a really short-term memory. That's a hell of a quality, okay? You got to be able to next man up. You can't dwell on small things, just like in life, right? Come on. You get a flat tire. You're going to sit there and cry. Oh, my day is ruined. No, fix it and move on. Because guess what? The older you get in life, and as you move in life, there's good, bad, good, bad, good. It's just you got to keep going. You got to keep being positive, right? We have JTL in here. JTL's a LSU fan. What's up, JTL? Good to see you, dog. We also have a battle taking place at the Husky position. You got Deshaun Jones, Drake Kirkpatrick Jr., and Cam Calhoun all battling it out. I don't know who we got. This is good. This is healthy competition. You know who's really improved to me is this guy, Drake Kirkpatrick Jr., man. Woo! He is good. I think he was kind of initially the starter. He's coming on strong, and they've just put him here, and he just got here from Utah. I don't know. This is a lot of depth. Man. Healthy competition. If you had to pick, who do you think will be the starter against Florida State at the Husky position? Maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. I think if I had to pick now, I'd probably go with Cam Calhoun. I don't know, man. This is a hell of a battle, man. Good battle. I'd probably say Cam, and I don't know. It's tough. A lot of people going for Cam. All right, yeah, I know. I feel it. Second team offensive line, we talked a little bit about this. Here's some guys that have been contributing on the second team offensive line. Jackson Lloyd. This guy is, he just got here. He's 6'7", 315. William Sanders, haven't heard a lot about him. Joseph Ionita at center. Probably more realistically the third team center, as I pointed out a couple slides ago. And then Gino Vandermark, he could very well be a starter, as I just explained. And then Olas Allen. I think they call him the Viking, right? Because he's from Finland. Damn, you imagine being from Finland? Has anyone been to Finland inside the comment box? I have not. I've never been to Norway. I've never been to Sweden. And I've never been to Finland. Has anyone been to Finland? You imagine living in Finland and then moving to Tuscaloosa. I would imagine they're like just completely just the different worlds apart, man. Jason coming in. Bailey's coming in with this. Says this. Why y'all counting Austin Mack out? And it's clearly been stated that Ty and Austin have taken all the first team reps. Crazy. Oh, see? People like Austin Mack. I'm telling you. I was just talking to someone this morning on text, and they were like, watch for Austin. Okay, Daniel's been to Sweden. All right. Skylar's been to Switzerland. Yeah, Switzerland. But Switzerland and like, it is not. Look, I've been to Switzerland too. But like Sweden, Finland, and Norway, they're up there. You got to really work. You got to be specific when you're going up there. You imagine the culture shock? What? Right? You just don't like dabble to Finland. The other, when you're in Europe, you can go to, France, you go to the Netherlands, and you're kind of cruising through. You have to really want to go to Finland, right? No one's like, I'm just going to go to Finland. All right, fam. That's the show today. Remember, we're spinning the wheel tomorrow. All right. 2 tickets. Bama's second home game, Alabama versus Wisconsin. Incredible seats. This is the view. All right. 2 tickets. The value price is $543. Get in where you fit in. You guys don't know what that is. That's some West Coast. I showed you guys how. And I'll be back later today with Ryan Grubb, his interview and highlights. All right. Practice highlights. So get ready for a nightcap tonight. different ways to either want to support the show. You could super chat, which we appreciate. The $25 gets you into the raffle. Bama_YouTube on Venmo, Bama on Cash App, and then you could scan the code for Zelle. All right? There's a good amount of people in the raffle. Yeah, it's whoever wins is going to earn it for sure. But I hope you guys had a good show. You know, every single show is handcrafted by yours truly. And I hope you guys had a good time kicking it today with me, Kyle Henderson. And we'll do the nightcap, and we'll come back with Ryan Grubb and with the player highlights too. All right. News as it happens every day at 10 a.m. Central Time right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I sincerely appreciate you guys more than you know. Thank you very much for watching. Please support all the content creators out there. Big show, small show. These guys are putting in the work, you know, and they're very, very talented. Congratulations to Josh Pate for linking up with On3. That was huge news. You know, it's really good to see others do well, right? It's called Mudita. Yeah, anybody know what Mudita is? It's basically celebrating other people's wins. And when you do that in life, you have the ability to be happier, right? Somebody gets a promotion, you're happy for them, right? You don't want to go into the negatives. Somebody gets married, you celebrate that, you know? Yo, life is a short trip. Being happy and being positive is a far better route, right? Stay close to God, enjoy your life, be present, and thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Coming to you from Tuscaloosa, Alabama on this fine Tuesday, August 5th. Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching Bama Football on YouTube with Kyle Henderson, live every day at 10 a.m. Central Time. Tomorrow we will spin the pinwheel come hell or high water. See you as news happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. All right.